Hello everybody, and welcome to another Sunday evening frequency meditation. So last week I just briefly touched on the subject of timelines and realities, and so what I'd like to do is go a little bit deeper in that. When I ever mention, and I'm sure many of you have heard me saying that, we're brilliant beings here, well, what does that really mean? It really means when I refer to things like timelines, the multiverse, we can tune in and connect to any of those things once we understand how to navigate there, clear the distortions that we have. Those environments are pretty pristine. They won't let anything come in if it's not in the same frequency. And then we can start being these brilliant beings that we start navigating the reality we choose to be in. There are infinite possibilities of you right now, this very second. Only one can be activated. So the one that has been activated are all the programs from past lives and to date right now that are making your frequency signature up. The great news is, being this brilliant being that we are, we can go to what I refer to as a precursor. We can go to where we actually can shift at a DNA level, we can shift at a cellular level, and at so much more efficient than what the mass consciousness does here, tries to change at this level, this density, what has already been created. It's pretty clunky to try and edit, change, shift something that's already been created. So why do we do what the universe does? Is let's go to the precursor, and from there we start editing, and as a result, a consequence, our outer environment reflects that. So with that, let's jump into a meditation and just see what comes up to find out about how to navigate, find these wormholes so that we can start to create that life that we've always wanted to. So as we all settle in here right now, just noticing yourself in your body, where your skin stops and all your inner workings. That's the physical expression of your spirit, of your timeless self here right now. And let's just take a deep breath in. Take a breath in from the core of the earth, where there's these frequencies that are so pure, been around billions of years. Breathing right up. And another breath in from the core of the earth, breathing right up, right through your whole body, through the soles of your feet, the legs, your middle section, head, top of your crown, holding that breath, and then release. Just really focusing on our breath right now as we come here in this present moment, in our body, that physical representation of our timeless self. We've just had 1111 activation, opening up portals for us. Possibilities. And whether you believe in portals or vortexes, energy circles, spirit guides, really doesn't really matter. If enough people believe in it, a consciousness is created. So as we take a breath in, we can use our imagination, that superpower that's been downplayed, to imagine being open to these concepts that are being discussed these days. More and more frequently, it's a new consciousness for us that we have access to. So these technologies come in. Focusing yourself on your spine, the whole spine, the entirety of it, the 33 vertebrae, all within your body. And so looking at these portals, what are these portals? that can take us to different dimensions, different realities, different realms. How is that along the same lines of timelines, quantum jumping? So another deep breath in from the core of the earth, coming right up through your whole body, holding it, and then releasing. A lot of these things that I'll discuss won't make sense, but at a very deep level it does. So if you can, try not to figure it out. Let the process happen to you. Let the process happen for you from your timeless self. Another breath in as we tune into these frequencies from the core of the earth. These pure frequencies that are in perfect alignment, synchronicity. And just by our very thought, our intention, they align us in a better position in space and time. Another deep breath in. So the version you are right now, this very second, is located in a certain position, a certain reality, a certain timeline in space and time. And there are infinite possibilities. There are infinite versions of you right now. Every possibility you could possibly imagine. And where you are, how you have created yourself right now, is a collection of all the programs that you've brought into from past lives or your ancestors, or what you've created within this lifetime. And most people go through life never questioning, well, why do I like that and not like this? Why am I like this and I'm not like that person? Just assumed that there is no decision making, and we just are how we are. So as we take another deep breath in, we start to understand and start to receive that knowledge from within, on how we can actually locate a wormhole, if you like, for those who don't know what a wormhole is. It's just like a portal into another realm or reality or dimension. It has nothing to do with the mind. It has nothing to do with learning something. It has all to do with being in your body present, with no expectations, and staying. Everything else out there, they're all tools so we can position ourselves in the best possible place in space and time, which means in the present moment, right here, right now, not escaping into other realities that are not on the optimal timeline, not constantly being in the present or in the future moment or the past moment. Most people are never in their body. So as we take a deep breath in and we come back to our spine, knowing we're in our body right now, and we can use the five senses to bring us into our body, to bring us into the present moment. Sight, sound, smell, touch, taste. For those who don't know the term spatial referencing that I mention all the time, if you go to any of my medias, there's a meditation on that, explanation on that. It's using the five senses to come back here in an optimal position. And that is where we need to be always in real time. Whether you are wishing to bring in certain abilities, or if you're wishing to, as they refer to, quantum jump, have access to these portals such as 1111. Another deep breath in. Noticing your vertebrae, noticing your two shoulders, and noticing your tailbone, those three different points. It's not that we don't have access to these things. Everybody does. It's our filters that first of all don't give us permission to believe in these things, such as portals, different dimensions, different realities, quantum jumping, going to the past, to a certain frame where a distortion happened, where the origin of that distortion was created, and editing it there and bringing that back into this present moment, this present frame. Again, if this doesn't make sense, don't worry about it. It will come to you. You can listen to this meditation again. And in fact, it's the frequencies that are really shifting you. So you could even put the meditation on very low and the frequencies are still activated. We work outside of time, which means when you listen to this again, we don't go back to where we did the recording. That moment comes to us. Like everything comes to us. So bringing in these frequencies from the core of the earth that are naturally aligning us right now, bringing in that stillness, and with that stillness comes a lightness, a simplicity. And this is the place always, whether you are a teacher, a guide, helping people, always come to this position. If you want to time travel, come to this position. If you want to connect to spirit guides or other intelligences, start from this position. This is the safest place to be for you. This is the most sound and grounded place and the most precise place. So I would suggest, as we take another deep breath in this present moment in our body, For those who are new, I would suggest really practicing staying in this place right here in your body, present. Sustain that movement before you go venturing off into other realms, realities. There's a lot of funky neighborhoods out there. People who drink, for instance, when they're opened up, they're, if you like, guided into those funky neighborhoods. So I could sit down and describe in great detail the mechanics of how you have access to through different portals. But that would be a disservice, because your timeless self, if you put in the time, will show your way for you and what you believe in, instead of me telling you my experience. So as we take a breath in, going back to that point of everything out here in this density, whether it's yoga, breath work, plant medicine, frequency work, religion, they're all tools, some not so useful, some tools are actually weapons, but they're all tools to help you navigate to that ideal reality, that closest point, proximity with your timeless self. And that's really when your journey starts. So as we take another breath in, we get so hung up on all the tools out there. We think that's the journey. No, that's just to bring us to a point in space and time. So we're open, we can receive with clarity that infinite knowledge that we have access to. It's so vast. Trying to access it or learn it through these old paradigms that have been shown to us here in this 4D would be impossible and insignificant. So we need to go to that super intelligence. We need to tune into our timeless self. And by being here in this present moment in our body, we can then choose. Going back to that notion, if enough people believe in something, then the consciousness is created. So then you can choose what you wish to explore, and equally as important, what you choose to not explore, what neighborhoods you choose not to go into, concepts you do not wish to put your energy into to cultivate more of a consciousness to it. I think we just have to look at the entertainment industry and the entertainment that's being produced to know what consciousness that has been created there, all about separation, violence, very dark. So we can choose, that's how powerful we are. We can choose that we're not going to contribute to that consciousness. So we withdraw all attention from it, and we put our energies into where we do wish to expand the collective. Another breath in. And sometimes it's as simple as reading up on, well, what does 1111 mean? What do these numbers, all these different sacred numbers, as they say, what do they mean? To read up on it and to see if it resonates within you. And if it does, then to master that through practice, dedication, precision. There are no shortcuts on this journey. Most other journeys, oh yeah, there's shortcuts, there's corruption, there's back doors. But this particular journey, which is the journey with a capital T, there are no shortcuts. You cannot enter these realms unless you've cleaned up. And you can't fake it. Because how we now start connecting with each other at a more conscious level is through our frequency signature, what we give off to people. That's what we pick up. Not how we look, not what we say, but what we give off. And equally, that's how we perceive other people. So those days of packaging are over. It's all about being your authentic self and cleaning up what really isn't your authentic self, what you thought it was. And then, as I say, once we're in this position, that is when the story really begins. And that's also when it gets really good. We're no longer healing, fixing, changing ourselves. We're perfect in that reality that we're in. So then we start to expand and we learn how to navigate through portholes, perhaps, to other realms where there's that better version of you already in existence, just not activated. And by the way, we do this billions of times every minute. We're just not aware of it because the changes are so minute. We can't pick it up with our five senses. But just look at you. Look at you right now and look at you 10 years ago. Your thoughts, your perspectives, your physical appearance is completely changed. How did you get from there to here in a flash? But you didn't notice the incremental changes along the way as they were so subtle and so minute. It's like that with this journey. So as we take a deep breath in, we tune into these frequencies of nature from the core of the earth, perfect alignment for us, pure frequencies. We come here into our body. We can focus on any body part. We can also do the spatial referencing using the five senses. So let's do that right now. We're just listening to any sounds around you and then pick a body part. And notice the distance from where that sound is and then that particular body part you chose. Noticing the smells around you and then picking another different body part. And again, the proximity between where the smells are and where that body part is. The taste in your mouth. Choosing a body part within your body, an internal spatial referencing. Turns on the chemistry that's needed for a healthy body if your healing switch has been turned on. That can only happen in the present moment. Can't happen thinking about the future moment of health. Noticing what you are sitting on right now or lying down on, and then picking another body part
perhaps your abdominal, and noticing the difference, the proximity between the two. This is using the 5 physical senses. We have many more senses, but that we use those more, not on a conscious level, but then we also use those much more when we do go visit those realms, those realities, because we leave our body behind. And when I say that, there's a whole lecture series on leaving your body behind when you go travel, which you don't want to leave your body behind. But in fact, we can't bring our body and mind to those higher realms. So we anchor our body and we expand into those realms. Yeah, it's quite complicated, the mechanics of that. So that will go in another discussion. Taking another breath in. So I leave you with the, if you like, the exercise of 1111, the numbers 1111. You've heard about it before. People see the numbers 1111 all the time. What does that mean? Well, there are actually infinite explanations to that, infinite definitions to that. But what is your definition? How these numbers, sacred numbers, I think everything is sacred, so sacred geometry, everything is sacred. No. What do these numbers represent to you, if anything? And in a meditation with your timeless self, ask for clarity. Ask for knowing on how to activate these movements to help you be that best possible self. But just incidentally, you don't need a porthole. There's portholes everywhere. You don't need a porthole that the collective all agree on, or some of the collective agree on. You can create your own portal on your own, in your own fashion. That's how powerful you are. So there's many, many pathways to go to different places. And I'm not here to tell you which doctrine or dogma, system, concept to use. But I give you a very secure launching off pad, springboard. So you're always in control. And so that when you do go there, you're able to bring back something with you to this density, this lifetime, this person. This is where we're supposed to be. We just look around at our body. We know we're in our body. That signifies this is where we're supposed to be. So by doing it this way, you actually then get to bring things into this reality, this lifetime, instead of always just going out and observing it, but never really being able to do anything with it, leaving it there when you come back. And this is where we get a lot of the wounded healer, people who are very negative about living in this lifetime, that it's always better somewhere else in the universe or something else. When you start practicing bringing this back with you, you'll discover that life here is the most euphoric experience ever. Every second is beauty. And it's not a slogan. You deeply feel it from within. So I'll leave you here. Stay a while. I always say, sign off with your timeless self in your own time. At the end of the day, I'm just here to guide you if I can, but really it's all about you and your timeless self. Cultivating that very intense, intimate relationship of one.